Today is November 15th. It is my 6-year anniversary of the day that I came to Houston, to Texas, to the US of A. So I lived the first 24 years of my life in Brazil. I had a degree in advertising that I never used, never wanted to use. I only went to college because my parents made me and paid for it. I was fighting and I was drinking a lot and partying a lot. And the United States had a lot of better opportunities for fighters. Of course, I already spoke English. I made it here. So fighting was my passion. I knew I wanted to fight, but I kept having injuries. It was going to take a long time to make money if the injuries allowed me to. But like I said, I was just partying and sparring, really. I wasn't taking care of my body. I was not doing any mobility, any physical therapy, any strength training. I thought that I would just live off of vodka and sparring. And my body started to break down. And I was like, oh, life is unfair. Let's go do something else with life. I was young and stupid. 24, still not that young, but some people take longer. And I decided to get rich, to learn how to invest, how to be an entrepreneur. So in Brazil still, I saw an investor and coach that sold courses online. I did some of them. I met him at an event and I told him, yo, I'm going to Texas over there where you live and I'm going to make as much money as you. Just watch. And he was like, okay, cool. Here's my phone number. When you go, call me. Even before I come, he calls me and he says, I met you at that event. I got a project like this, and this. You want to participate? And I was like, hell yeah. So that's why I ended up in Houston. I have no idea which city I was going to go. Thought I was going to go to Texas because the law here was more investor friendly. He lived in Houston in the Woodlands, so that was my first home. Worked for him for 5 months. Slave work, 7 days a week, 24/7. But the trade was, I was not qualified to do the work. The money was really just to support my life, to keep me alive while I was learning everything that he was doing. So I worked for him for 5 months. After 5 months, I'm like, I've had enough. I'm going to set my own business with what I learned here. About 1 year into having a business, being an entrepreneur, I was like, this sucks. And by that time, I was a lot more mature. I was living here for a year and a half, taking care of myself for the first time in my life. And I started a business, so I had a lot of growth. So I was like, man, maybe if I take care of my body, I can rely on fighting a little more. So my business was an Airbnb business. So I rented apartments and I sublet them on Airbnb, pretty much be a hotel manager. That was the in-between of an investment in business, right? It required very little. It required more work because I cleaned them too. So I sell all my furniture for half the price because I hate selling shit. Now I'm happy again. I got some of that money back. I made money in the business too. I'm pretty much at the point that I started with the money that I had invested. Just got it back. Now I'm teaching and fighting again. But that was COVID. During COVID, all gyms shut down. The gym that I was working at, they were like, man, we cannot pay everybody. We're going to have to let some of you guys go. So now I was jobless and I start doing Shipt and Instacart. And I'm getting groceries, doing like 10, 13 orders per day, making like $100, $150 a day. It was exhaustive, but it was pretty cool. I was hustling and just trying to figure out shit when things were bad. I always love Hands of Greasy Houston. The open mat is the biggest in Texas, the coolest. It's the coolest gym here in Texas. Shout out Kenzie. When my friend got a job over there and I heard, I was like, I'm like, man, I could just ask for a job at Hanzo, so I did. And a week later, I was working there. So that was awesome for me. COVID was nice. Thank you. So I start working the kids' classes at Hanzo, and I go back to fighting. Actually, I was already back fighting when I was still working at Bam Bam. They got me a fight in Denver. I spent more money than I made going over there, traveling over there. But I just wanted a ticket into the MMA scene here in Houston. When I found out I was going to fight in Denver, I was like, man, I got to deal with this altitude stuff. So I researched and bought this book, The Oxygen Advantage by Patrick McCall. And man, this thing is amazing. It's amazing. It got me in such better shape for fighting and for life. Just learn about breathing and breathing better. I mean, we breathe 24 hours a day, right? It makes a difference in your life. Let me say that. So learned a lot of breathing exercises. Learned a lot how to use my breathing for a lot of things in my life. And that's what happens with adversity. You figure it out, you learn, and you get better, right? So I get into the MMA scene. Then I fight again in Houston in 2019. I was going to fight again in 2020, but COVID happened. And then Texas and Florida were the first states to start to have events back. Texas was awesome during COVID. By the way, go Texas. We had like a 2-week lockdown. Basically, after just 2-3 weeks, the government was like, hey, watch for yourself. If you're afraid, don't get out of the house. But if you got to do stuff, you got to do stuff. Texas had one of the best results with COVID too. Had one of the better outcomes with the pandemic. But then we have a lot more space here than New York, for example, California. So people could get around without being all in one place. So different places, different measures, right? But Texas, congratulations. You're awesome. we go back to fighting end of 2020, I think. I have 4 losses back to back. They put me to fight for a title. I fight for a title. I lost. I'm beating up the champion at the time. Shout out Cameron. Sorry, but I think I was beating you up. Got caught with a head kick by the second round. Fought for another title, the TMF title. Got knocked down to my ass. Stood up, started beating him up again. Take him down, got submitted. Lost again. Lost 2 other fights. Horrible losing streak. Then found my way to winning again. Win another 2. Then I lost my last one again. Right now I'm 8-8. Fucking 8-8 record. Gotta fix that. Oh, met my ex. Huge part of my life too. Met my ex for the 6 years that I was here. 4 of those years I was with her. We just recently broke up like 3 months ago. That was some drama today. If you're in my YouTube channel, you probably know. But we don't have to talk about that. That was plenty of public drama. Sorry for that. I just wanted to be real and transparent and express every emotion that I was going through. Sorry. Oh, I am now a head coach in his Gracie Academy downtown inside of Main Street where I train MMA. I'm not only now a fighter there, but I'm also the head coach of Jiu-Jitsu. That's pretty fucking epic. I have a YouTube channel. I am about to become a nutrition coach. We've been talking about nutrition a lot on this channel. I am ripped year round, which I take pride in for the discipline, for the ideology of only eating real food, treating your body like a temple, like a machine. I mean, if I'm a fighter, if you're an athlete, right? Like, there's just no comparison to go to a really hard workout. Man, we go hard on strength conditioning. And if I eat crap, if I eat too much, if I drink the night before, or 2 nights before, 3 nights before, I don't feel like I can't be competitive, in MMA. So my confidence just gets completely drained. So being completely healthy, waking up, going to strength conditioning, and kicking ass, doing incredible shit where people look and go like, wow, it's freaking awesome. That's why you're gonna hear me ranting about your eating habits so much. So that's a huge part of my life too, and that's what life took me now. So happy anniversary to me. Oh, I always forget to say this. Like, subscribe, comment anything. Call me a loser. If you have something to say, say it. If you don't have something to say, just say fuck you. But just help the algorithm. Say, leave a little word there. That's our deal. You keep commenting and liking and subscribing, and I keep making videos. Holla. Man, I don't know how much I can tell of this. When I decided to quit my job, I just felt like so much happiness for getting out of slavery. It was a Monday night, and I was like, I'm going out. I'm going to the bar. So I went to a local bar. Shout out XC73 in the Woodlands. By myself, sit at the bar, have a couple beers, talk to people, talk to a girl, get a girl's number. Perfect night. It was a perfect night. If I wasn't just weird and awkward by myself, which happens a lot of times when I go out by myself, which I like to do. And I didn't have too much to drink, but I had some. I did have a car, so I drive home. At that point, I was 5 months in here. I didn't have an ID. I didn't have a driver's license. I just had a Brazilian ID and nothing else. I was trying to figure out my visa. I do have a green card now, but I was trying to figure out my visa process. And I'm driving, and I'm being super diligent, super responsible, because I know I drink and I don't want to cause any trouble. I don't want to get in trouble, and I just want to get home safely. So I'm driving at 40 miles per hour. I don't even go up the highway. I stay on the frontage road, super slow, stop at the light, and then I just see the police lights behind me, and they tell me to pull over. And I'm like, oh, it's over. It was fun, but I guess I'm getting deported now. They play bad cop, good cop too. I only realized that later. That was super cool. Bad cop comes to my window, asks where I'm coming from. I'm like, I'm coming from the bar. Like, did you drink? I'm like, I drink a little bit. Get out of the car. They start searching. They put me in handcuffs. And by that point, I'm almost shitting my pants, about to cry. I had a joint in my pocket, but when they got me out of the car, they told me to put everything in the hood of their police car. So I put everything that I had in my pocket. Wallet, phone, keys, and joint in a little tube. And they just started searching the car. They're like, is there any drugs in the car? Do you have a weapon? I'm like, no, man, what the hell? I have no weapon. I have no drugs in the car. Not in the car. He's like, you sure you don't have any drugs in the car? I'm like, no drugs in the car. He was like, do you use any drugs? I'm like, I do smoke weed. Why do you smoke weed? Is that medicinal? Is it recreational? And I go like, man, it's not even recreational. I would call it philosophical. When I smoke, I think of some things that I never thought when I was sober. So I think differently, make different decisions, and I think some of them make me smarter. And he kept looking at me like, and went and talked to his partner. And I was just completely truthful. I like, yeah, I'm a fighter, man. I think I'm a good person, you know. I think I'm not trying to do bad to anybody. I worked like a slave for 5 months. I quit today, and I just wanted to go out and celebrate. I drank just a little bit, and I came home really diligent, making sure that I didn't cause any trouble to anybody. But I think I'm a good person. And they're like, do you have anybody to come pick you up? So I call the guys, nobody picks up, and they go like, no, never mind. We're going to call this toll lady. She's going to take your car. You're going to give her $250. And I was like, oh, fucking K, awesome. I go to the gas station, get $250. So they call the lady and they get my stuff from their hood and started giving to me. And they see the joint. And they're going to give it to me. And they're like, man, you have a joint. I just like to always carry one with me. And they throw it on the floor, stomp on it, give me back the tube, and say, don't do this, man. There's smoke at your house, and don't get in trouble. If we see you again, you're going to jail. And I went back home.